Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to recap a movie named Stubby the American Hero. At the beginning of the story, we see a street dog who has been hungry for days, wandering around in search of food. He comes across a chicken shop and manages to steal a bone. However, while running away, he bumps into a man, causing the bone to fall and get lost in the crowd. The dog becomes deeply saddened, a look of despair in his eyes. Just then, an army contingent passes by in a parade. Among them is a soldier named Robert, who notices the dog and gives him a biscuit. The dog's eyes light up with joy, and he starts following Robert. Soon, we're told that during World War II, when French and British soldiers were fighting the Germans, America also joined the war. To prepare, they began training young citizens for battle. The dog follows Robert to the training ground, where Robert enters the camp with other soldiers. The dog sneaks in through a broken wall, following the smell of food to the kitchen. Before he can eat, the chef spots him and chases him out. The dog runs away and bumps into Robert again, instantly happy to see him. Robert tries to explain he has no more biscuits, but the dog doesn't understand and insists on staying. During training, a senior officer notices the dog and takes a liking to him, telling Robert to feed him after training. Later, Robert brings the dog to the canteen and gives him food. His friends warn him that if the colonel sees the dog, he'll get angry. The next day, while the soldiers train, the dog runs alongside them, playing and having fun. The officers soon notice that the dog isn't afraid of gunfire and understands human speech quickly. They realize he's no ordinary dog and could be useful to the army. That night, Robert names him Stubby and starts teaching him commands. The next day, when the colonel visits the camp, Stubby observes everyone saluting and copies them perfectly. Impressed, the colonel allows Stubby to stay. Stubby quickly becomes the camp's favorite, understanding orders and winning hearts. Eventually, the officers are ordered to head to the battlefield with their unit, the Yankee Division. Before departure, the colonel wishes them luck and instructs Stubby to stay behind to help train new soldiers. Robert feels sad to leave him but has no choice. He gives Stubby a badge and tells the chef to look after him. As Robert leaves, Stubby escapes from his rope and follows his scent to the train, sneaking aboard. And later, he hides inside a box being loaded onto the ship Robert is boarding. That night, when everyone's asleep, Stubby comes out and finds Robert, who's shocked to see him. Robert's friend Olson warns that if the general discovers Stubby, they'll be in trouble. They try to hide him, but Stubby accidentally bumps into the general. When the soldiers salute, Stubby does too, even fetching the general's fallen stick with his mouth. The general is amazed and orders the captain to make Stubby an official member of Robert's unit. Stubby receives his own nameplate, transforming from a street dog into a proud military dog. He travels with Robert's unit to France, where the British and French armies are fighting the Germans. The battles are fierce, but Stubby proves his worth. During a German attack, he bravely finds trapped American and British soldiers buried under rubble and saves them, winning the admiration of everyone around him. All the soldiers are delighted by Stubby's feat, and he becomes everyone's favorite dog. When Robert meets his fellow French soldier, Gaston, he too is delighted to meet him. Soon, the two become good friends. Gaston then leads Robert and his companions to the camp. On the way, they see a destroyed city, completely devastated by German soldiers. They rest overnight at the camp. The next morning, Robert goes on patrol with Gaston and Stubby. While hiding behind a high rock, they observe German soldiers through binoculars and discover they are plotting to attack the city with poison gas. Seeing this, Robert, Gaston, and Stubby run back to their camp to warn their troops in time. While fleeing, Stubby sees a German soldier about to shoot Robert. But before he can fire, Stubby pushes Robert to the ground, causing the soldier to miss his target. Robert's life is saved. Robert then hides behind a tree trunk with Gaston. Here, Robert realizes the situation is critical. German soldiers are aiming everywhere, so Robert shows Stubby a gas mask and signals him to go and tell everyone about the poison gas attack. Stubby understands Robert's signal and quickly runs to the camp. There, he brings out a mask, holding it in his mouth. The soldiers immediately understand Stubby's signal and immediately put on their masks. The German army then begins firing rockets filled with poison gas into the sky. In no time, the green gas spreads everywhere. A village near the war zone is about to be hit by this poisonous gas, but Stubby reaches the village before the gas reaches it. He goes there and starts barking loudly. The villagers are shocked to see Stubby shouting like this. At that very moment, they see the sky suddenly turn green and the poisonous gas is spreading everywhere. Everyone immediately puts on their masks, closes the doors and windows of their homes, and hides inside. Stubby is still outside when Robert and Gaston arrive on horseback and take him inside a house. There, they place a cloth over Stubby's mouth to protect him from the gas. When everyone emerges after the toxic gas has worn off, the villagers are overjoyed to see Stubby. Stubby saved their lives. Now, the villagers consider him their hero. Returning to the camp, the captain reveals that a soldier has disappeared after the German army opened fire. Despite numerous attempts, his location has been lost. Stubby understands the captain's point. Using his keen sense of smell, he finds the wounded soldier, dodging the German artillery and bullets. They rescue him with the help of smoke grenades, and Stubby's bravery saves his life. Robert's unit is then ordered to relocate to another battle location. A dangerous battle ensues between them and the German army. Stubby plays a crucial role in this battle, helping to save many lives. At one point, Stubby cleverly leads some German soldiers to a U.S. Army camp, where the American soldiers confront them. They take him prisoner. But during the battle, when Stubby tries to save a soldier from a grenade, he himself is wounded. Seeing Stubby's injury, Robert immediately brings him to the camp, where the doctor refers him to the hospital for treatment. Robert is heartbroken by the separation from Stubby. He no longer feels like fighting. Meanwhile, Geston is also ordered to return to his camp. Robert says goodbye to Geston with a heavy heart, because after Stubby's departure, he was the only companion he had left with whom he used to spend time happily. But now he too is leaving. In his loneliness, Robert writes a letter to his sister. However, he feels broken by the separation from Stubby and falls ill due to this grief. When the doctor examines Robert, he discovers that he will not live much longer and may die soon. Meanwhile, in the city, Stubby's leg wound has not yet fully healed. Nevertheless, he sets out to find Robert. Along the way, Stubby experiences severe pain in his legs, but he refuses to give up. He continues walking, searching for his master. During the journey, Stubby, in pain, even falls to the ground, but he gets back up again, his eyes filled with the zeal to find Robert. Finally, after overcoming all the difficulties, Stubby finally reaches Robert. Robert is overjoyed to see him. Stubby's presence cures his fever, and within a few days, Robert is back to normal. During the holidays, Robert travels to Paris with Stubby and his friends. There, he spends a good time with Stubby. They enjoy their time together, and people respect him, as Stubby has become famous worldwide for his bravery and loyalty. Meanwhile, Stubby helps the military capture a German spy. Pleased with Stubby's feat, the general transfers him to a higher officer rank. Robert is also promoted. Stubby has now become the senior officer of all the army officers in his camp. Gaston also arrives here. He is overjoyed with Robert and Stubby's promotion and heartily congratulates them. A group photo is taken with Robert, Stubby, and the entire unit, which is covered in all the major newspapers in the city. Stubby has now become a national celebrity. In the next scene, the American and French armies confront the German army together and force them to retreat. Gaston and Robert are completely shocked when they see the German army's advanced bunkers, which are extremely strong and secure. Here, a soldier tells them that the war will soon end because the government will announce a ceasefire the next morning, after which the war will be considered over. Hearing this news, Robert and all the soldiers are overjoyed, as they will now be able to return home. However, the next day, German soldiers suddenly attack again, and a fierce battle between the two armies begins once again. During the battle, Robert sees Geston advancing alone and follows him. After moving a little further, he sees Geston surrounded by two German soldiers. Seeing Geston in trouble, Robert moves forward with Stubby when the ceasefire is announced. The German soldiers drop their weapons and surrender. Robert looks at the clock and it is exactly 11. This means that Robert can now return home with Stubby. Stubby is also very excited about going home. The hope of returning is clearly visible in his eyes. Robert finds his best friend's hat, which signifies his death in battle. This deeply saddens Robert. He, along with Geston, bids his last farewell to his best friend. Afterward, Robert bids farewell to Geston, and Stubby, along with the rest of his camp officers, departs for his hometown. A large crowd gathers at the port to await Stubby. By now, Stubby has become a hero throughout the country. He is welcomed there like a senior military officer. A photographer captures a historic photograph of Stubby, which remains famous worldwide because it is a true story. Stubby played a crucial role in this war for his country. He accompanied soldiers in 17 battles, saved their lives, and won everyone's hearts with his courage. This story teaches us about a small street dog who had no uniform or rank, but the passion he held with perhaps no less than that of any soldier. He taught us that bravery is never dependent on weight or appearance. He also proved that humanity isn't limited to humans. Stubby is gone, but his loyalty, love, and sacrifice are forever etched in this world, and perhaps that is the hallmark of a true hero. On the end. Like, share, and subscribe for more interesting recaps. Thanks for watching. See you next time.